it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. Today I am going to show you how I made this snow globe, or in this case eyeball globe. I showed you this last week, I think. It was one of the items I took to the team day that we had recently, where there were so many of us got together and had an absolute blast. This is actually part of a bundle that comes with the still scene stamp set. So you get the snow globe scene dies and the still scene stamp set. But why should snow globes just be for Christmas? So I thought I would do one for Halloween. We won't be using the stamp set, but do remember, if you would like the stamp set and the dies, get them as a bundle and you save 10% on both items, which is always a plan. So let's have a look at the dies. They are amazing, actually. So we've got, whoops, let's open them so you can see them. We've got the globe, we've got the bases. So this cuts out the shape for the globe, and you get the globes. They come in a little box, snow globe shaker dome. You get 10 in a box, so you can make lots of lovely cards with them. And they've got adhesive. Well, I'll show you that in a minute. So you've got the die to cut the right size hole. You've got the base filigree, and you've got the base itself. You have a reindeer, polar bears, and the wherewithal to make churches, plus you've got trees. And then the stamp set has got, as well as some sentiments, it's got a little house, so you can build a scene with the house as well. So really lovely set. I've already die cut the base, but I'll be using the die to cut out where I need the hole in my card layers. All of the items that I've used will be listed both below in the description bar and on my website, which is also linked below, and you'll also find the dimensions. Now I'm changing this up a bit, because why make the same card twice when you can make two different cards? So I've already prepared a half sheet of basic black, which I've scored in the middle, so that will become our card base. You can cut the other way, so you can do short fat rather than long thin, but for photography it's easier to do a tent fold, so that's why I do that. Then I've got a piece of crushed curry and a piece of designer series paper, and this is from the Monster Bash designer series paper, she says, hoping that's what it's called. Let me grab it. It is indeed the Monster Bash designer series paper, which you've seen me use a lot because I am loving the Spooktacular Bash suite. So this is the one that's got the sort of filigree design on the back, which obviously doesn't have to be used for Halloween or Christmas. It could be a great masculine card, but I'm choosing to use the one with bats and script. So that's just slightly smaller than my crushed curry, and it is this that I will cut into. And I've also got a piece of this designer series paper from the same pack with the cobwebs on the back, because I want that to be behind everything. But the first thing I'm going to do is cut the hole for my globe, because that's kind of the starting point, really. So let me grab my die cutter, and I've got a magnetic base plate on, and actually I need to turn the plate over. I test to see if there's any give in the base plate, and if there's a bit of give, turn it over. That way you keep your plates flatter for longer. So I'm just going to pop this so that it's kind of where I think it needs to be. With the script, it's actually quite easy to check that you are vaguely straight, which is quite useful. And pop the top plate on, wind through and out the other side, and with luck and a fair wind, yes, it's cut it out. Now obviously you can use this for something else, but in the meantime I will get rid of my die machine. And there is our hole. So our globe will fit snugly into that hole, and it's got adhesive both on both this side and this side, so it's ideal. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is just check where this is going to sit on here, and grab a pencil. She says hopefully that's a pencil. Yes. So I'm just going to make sure that that's vaguely straight. It's not life or death if it's not. I'm just going to draw that solely because I've got the piece of cobweb and I want to make sure that I'm covering that. So that's going to go down there. Grab some snail because that's really all it needs. And then pop that on. So that's perfect. Then the next thing to do is to stick this behind here. Actually, no, I'm going to do something in a slightly different order. So rather than stamping, which is what I did for this one, I stamped the mummy, I'm going to use the mummy from the designer series paper. So this is actually going to be a no stamping project. So I'm just going to fussy cut around here. So that I end up with my framed mummy. And there are other mummies. I mean, you don't have to use the mummy, but because he's got those lovely eyes sort of poking out from under his bandages, it just goes quite nicely with the eyeballs that I've made, and I will go through how I made the eyeballs. So, whoops. There we go. Concentration on what? Right, I need that. That is what I need. And then you just need, this is for your eyeballs, so you just need a scrap of cardstock, a basic black dark Stampin' Write marker, and I just blob along, and you will find that it may well come out the other side, and if it does you can just pop it on. If it doesn't come through, you can just do what I did and just add another dot, and then grab yourself a hole punch. Now I do have a single hole punch, which I find easiest to do this with, and you can open it up, pop your blob in and punch, and get lots of scrappy bits out as well. And then you can just grab, if it doesn't come out of its own volition, you can just take it out, and there you have your eyeball. So really easy, nothing technical to it at all. So here I have a little pile of eyeballs. So I'm going to pop my fussy cut bit. I was trying to think what I was going to call it. Fussy cut bit. Did you hear my brain absolutely ticking away there? So I'm going to pop this down. So position your front mat again. Pop this down where you want it, and I want it kind of up a bit. And then you can... where's it gone again? Hidden it. There we are. Grab your snow globe and a pointed end and just unpeel the front, and probably easiest to do it from above. Let's get rid of my eyeballs for a moment. And just slip that over the front and press it down. Now, because I found that this kind of attracted, I actually got my embossing buddy and just added a bit of embossing buddy as well, then blow it out, but it does leave you with a sort of fuzz, which is fine because it's spooky. if I was doing it as a snow globe, I probably, well, I might, because you can always see it as snow, can't you? So pop that back on. Let me grab those bits off the side. So pop all those in the middle. Then add some more snail to your paper. This is one of those, which do you do first? Stick the globe in or add your snail? And I really don't know which is going to be easier, but you know. Now, of course, you could use liquid adhesive. Absolutely no problem with that. It might, for this, be a little easier. Then just grab the other piece of sticky off. And oops, this is why I've added some anti-static. Personally, I am going to ignore where my eyeballs are and line up the paper rather than worrying too much, other than to get them out from under the adhesive, where my eyeballs are. There we go. And there are my eyeballs shaking nicely. Press everything down nice and hard, and you may get a few that want to stick in at the top, but it really doesn't matter. Then I have got, somewhere I've hidden it. Where have I hidden it? I buried it. I had all my bits ready to go. Oh, there you are. It's right in front of my nose. So I've die cut the base, and I've die cut, and this is out of basic grey, this is out of basic black. I've still got some of the adhesive sheets left, so I did add that to the back for speed as much as anything, but you can just use a few dots of liquid adhesive and then just add one to t'other. And then I will use liquid adhesive for this because it is a little heavy. I'm going to be using it to stick everything together anyway. So pop this right snug up against the base of your globe and then stick it down, and that way you get a nice join between the two pieces. So, you know, a really good push against the bottom of your snow globe. And then turn it over. And add one to t'other. Now, I'm not going to put a liner in my card yet because some of you know I have liner fear. If I'm writing straight into the card, you can guarantee I'm going to make a mess. So as I'm going to be sending this to someone, I would quite like to write my liner and then stick it in. That way, if it goes wrong, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so there you are. That's the basic construction of how to make the snow globe. So this is the no stamping version, but really cute. And as I say, don't keep your snow globes just for Christmas. Just as good for Halloween as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and do consider subscribing, which you can do by just clicking the button in the bottom right hand corner. I've listed all of the items that I've used both below and on my website. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave those below. I'll have some close-up photographs on my website as well, plus details of some amazing offers that are going on at the moment. And yeah, thank you very much indeed for watching again today, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thanks a lot.